All right, guys, welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes with Mike. I am your host, Michael Beckford. This is the last official episode to be released of the new year. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your support, listening, for watching, for supporting me and my endeavors, for purchasing my ebooks, all of those things. I thank you guys for 2025, and I look forward to see you guys beyond. So we're going to get right into this episode in a minute.
This is 5 Minutes with Mike, our news, our voice, and our opinion. With your host, Michael Beckford. Now stop, listen, and pay attention for 5 Minutes with Mike.
All right, guys, you guys have been watching the news. You guys have seen what's been going on with Tyler Perry, super mega producer Tyler Perry. There's been a second allegation against him in regards to advances of a sexual nature, in regards to his position of power and authority, and allegedly promised said roles for, sexual favors in a sense. So what's going on right now when it comes down to Tyler Perry? I thought I'd give my few cents in regards to it because, first and foremost, I think that these men that came out against Tyler Perry, I think it's a complete money grab personally. The first individual, which that case pretty much disappeared, the first individual wanted $270 million for, these quote unquote the crimes of advances, or text messages, flirty text messages. And I mean, the gentleman also went over Tyler Perry's home and things of that nature. And honestly, with this second individual, it seems to be a similar storyline. There may have been some sort of romantic relationship between the individuals, and now this individual, this second accuser, he pretty much explicitly, Tyler Perry released text messages between him and this second accuser saying, no, wait a minute, stop the brakes. This guy's pretty much been money hungry. This guy's, he was cast in Tyler Perry's movie Boo, Medea's Halloween, and he hasn't really had any work since. And so now, since he can't get no work on his own, he can't pull himself off, up on his bootstraps. He pretty much is broke, allegedly. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the dude's personal finances is, but I think that if he was still working with Tyler Perry, I don't believe he would have filed a lawsuit. I mean, let's just put it like that. And I don't believe he had any other options in Hollywood to further his career. So, he decided to go the route of, this accuser, the second accuser, first accuser too, right? I mean, $270 million. Come on, dude. And then $77 million. Come on, dude. But, they decided to go the route of, in my opinion, it's extortion. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's extortion, dude. Now, on the headline says, of this video, it says, is Tyler Perry the new Diddy? The answer to that may surprise you. I don't know. That's the answer. And the reason I say I don't know is because I remember when it came down to the Diddy allegations, for years there was allegations against Diddy, and some things that came out, just kind of leaked out, dripped out. Mainly it was his security guard, Diddy's former security guard, that Gene Simmons, I believe his name, that came out and said this was happening, this was going on. But I mean, for years, I mean, these was all rumors, and then Jaguar Wright.
This episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by Michael D. Beckford's newest book, Homeboys. Everybody has a homeboy, or friends call his own. The best friend you kick it with at the family barbecue. The one you trust to bring around your lady without raising a red flag. A homeboy will play video games, smoke, and chill. A homeboy is a nigga you can ride or die, and the one you sleep with on the low. Homeboys, available in ebook and paperback or wherever books are sold.
But it wasn't anything that was concrete about Diddy per se. So just like the rumor mills that was going on. Diddy still had a career. As we all know, Diddy still did his thing. He got the keys of the city in New York. Like, even with certain allegations against him, per se, that was, swirling around in the media, Diddy still did his thing. And he was still stronger than ever. It wasn't until Diddy sued that liquor company that Diddy said was treating him unfairly in regards to distribution of Diddy's private label liquor brand, that it wasn't until that happened that all hell started to break loose for Diddy. That's when the Cassie video came out. That's when, obviously, warrants happened, doors kicked down at both of his homes. That's when all hell started breaking loose. And it was, like I said, for 30 years or better, when it came down to Diddy, even from the start of the situation that happened in that school back in New York years ago, not New York, I'm sorry, it happened in Atlanta years ago, where you had performing acts of big Def Jam performing acts, big LaFace performing acts that were went to go perform, and then there was this big tragedy that happened. You guys can look it up. You can all see what happened, where some individuals were unalive due to it was too many people at this concert, too many people, and it was Diddy was young, very young at this time, obviously, young man, just new to the game at the time, but that was a big situation for him, a big deal, and it kind of carried over from all the way through, the most recent documentary that 50 Cent included that piece about it, and others have documented that. So that's nothing new. But like I said, over the years, there's been things when it comes down to Diddy. So in regards to Tyler Perry, there's also been rumors on him for years too. Rumors of his sexuality. I don't believe I've not seen any documented piece or documented truth of Tyler Perry himself saying, hey, he's a gay man or a bisexual man, or in some cases when he dressed up like my deal, a transsexual man. I mean, I have not seen it, but I mean, if anybody that has two eyes, you can kind of see the man definitely may have some, sexual identity things that he could be working through, or maybe it's not a thing he needs to work through. He just don't give a damn about what people thinks about his sexuality, and he doesn't feel like he needs to go out on social media and broadcast it. I mean, that's his right as well. Just because he's a public figure don't mean that you got to know every single thing that he's doing. It don't mean that you need to know everything that he's doing in his private bedroom. I mean, goodness. But on the flip side of this, with these individuals, these men talking, these men here revealing certain things in regards of a sexual nature, a romantic nature with Tyler, it does kind of make people draw conclusions, right? I mean, it's only natural, if you see a lion out there in the wilderness eating a giraffe, and then you see the lion eating a giraffe 10 days later, you're going to conclude that most likely that lion loves to eat giraffes. And so maybe Tyler Perry, he likes men. So what? It's 2025 going to 2026. It is what it is. But The problem that's happening now with this situation is that now we're looking at both the court of public opinion in regards to, hey, did Tyler Perry, tell these men, promise these men that he give them promising roles, basically lifetime roles essentially, so that they can be financially stable for the rest of their lives in exchange for sexual favors. Okay? That's the real question. And the biggest issue with it, which it's a similar situation that happened with I can't, man, his name, I just had it in my mind, but I'll get it in 1 second. All right, guys, I just chat GPT that thing. It is Tavis Smiley. If you guys know Tavis Smiley, Tavis freaking Smiley, he was in a position of power similar to Tyler Perry. He wasn't as wealthy as Tyler Perry, so let's get that right. Not even close. Tyler Perry's a freaking billionaire. But Tavis Smiley still, he had a lot of power. He was in a high position. He had a weekly broadcast show that came on NPR, PBS. He was on BET. I mean, the dude, was an author, all that stuff. And because of the fact that he had a situation with a woman, where it was a power dynamic, he pretty much lost it all. His show his nationally syndicated show got dropped, and we haven't really heard from Tyler and Tavis. We haven't really heard from Tavis since. The man got older, grayer, and for the most part during that time, he lost all his deals. Okay, now not clear as far as what he's doing now for work, or essentially, he got some books that he's probably making. I'm sure he's making some royalties off of, and who knows, he may have some real estate that he got some deals on. I don't know the man's finances when it comes down to Tavis, but I'm saying there's a similar power dynamic that's happening here. But unfortunately, where this with Tavis Smiley affected Tavis Smiley and a very small few staffers that he had when it came down to his production and publishing. When it come down to Tyler Perry has a whole former military base of people that works for him. So Tyler Perry goes down, I mean, there's hundreds of jobs that's going to be lost, maybe in the thousands, because there's other jobs that's there are other people that's connected to that, and you got to think about all the relationships that he have with other brands of people. Disney has shot some of their movies at Tyler Perry Studios. You think about Lionsgate. This second individual is trying to connect, or is connecting, Lionsgate in this particular lawsuit that he's alleging, such harm from Tyler Perry. And so now, a company like Lionsgate is going to start saying, like, wait a minute, what's going on with this Perry guy? And then Tyler Perry has a deal with Netflix. I think he has a deal with Amazon. At least, he got deals with a lot of people, and some of these brand partners, similar to what happened with Diddy, is going to start saying, wait a minute, let's really unfold, let's really pull back the curtain. What's going on with our partner? Because at the end of the day, no matter how much money you have as an entrepreneur, you still got business partners to deal with. And when I say partners, that don't necessarily mean that any of these organizations own a piece of Tyler Perry Studios. From my knowledge, that's 100% owned by Tyler Perry himself. But what it does mean is, for instance, you got a deal with Netflix. You have a deal with Lionsgate. He has a long-running deal with Lionsgate. That was actually the first company that put him on when it came down to his ventures into film. But, you got a deal over here. You got a deal with, BET. You got a deal over there, which BET is owned by Paramount, now Skydance. But anyway, listen, there's a lot of tentacles at play when it comes down to how these people become billionaires. And they don't become a billionaire by themselves. no billionaire becomes a billionaire by themselves. Like, literally, they don't. For the most part, there are people, whether they're people that work for them, people that they partner with, there's always someone else in relations to. And their partners can easily say, you know what, man, there's two guys already that's now dragging us in the headlines. And especially with the think about a company like Disney, Disney's like, I mean, it's by the way, this is the same company that employed Shannon Sharp of ESPN. They had to let Shannon Sharp go because ultimately it comes back to the Disney brand of what happened with Shannon Sharp and that allegation from that young lady that he settled with. So roundabout, this is not good. Even if Tyler Perry is innocent, right, of everything that they're talking about, it's not good in a court of public opinion, which will try you before you get to the court of law. Period. Point blank, full stop. And my biggest issue right now when it comes down to these individuals that are having these allegations against Tyler is the fact that they're wanting like crazy oogle doogle sums of money. Like, wait a minute, is this about you feeling harmed by Tyler Perry in this particular degree, or is it about a money grab? Hey, I'll let you as the viewers sound up on the comments and you give a take on what you feel about it. All right, guys, thank you. Enjoy. Please continue to like, subscribe, and comment, and enjoy your time with your friends and family going into the new year. Thank you.
This episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by Padsplit. In a pinch and need a place to stay for cheap? Try Padsplit and get $25 credit once approved for a room near you. Locations and restrictions apply. Hit the link below and get approved for your next room. Now, do you have a vacant home that's been listed on the market forever? Make money from your home today using Padsplit. Earn passive income and make it a Padsplit home today. Link in the description below.
Tell it on the mountain where Jesus Christ is born.
The world is crying for a hymnal to sing. We're constantly on the verge to let freedom ring. We look for a new song every chapter of the week. That song may be about a boy or girl who has no food to eat. It may be about a soldier shot in the chest or police violence during a house arrest. We watch and we pray, we sing and we shout, we clap and we dance, and then we leave out. We really think that we made a difference because the same old hymn that we've always been singing.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain where Jesus Christ is born.
We're born at a time, and we live in an era when no oppressed people will be satisfied to let the oppressor continue to oppress them without doing something about it. And as the oppressed awaken and become very eager to defend themselves, the oppressor himself is going to step up his activity. And step up activity on the part of both will produce an explosion that's just as certain as the rising of the sun on the eastern horizon in the morning.